Well, hello and welcome to yet another edition of our daily encouragement. Today we'll be going out of Matthew chapter 21. Hope that you've been having a good day, a good week, a good month, uh, good year, whatever the timeline is. And understand, even if you haven't, today's a new day, or maybe it's the end of your day. Tomorrow will be your new day. There's always opportunity for the Lord to work. You just have to trust in Him and look to Him. We're going to see a little bit of that today in Matthew 21. What we're going to do is go from verse 17. And it says, And he, referring to Jesus, and he left them and went out of the city into Bethany, and he lodged there. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it, and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, Let no fruit go on thee henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. When the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How soon is the fig tree withered away? Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Now, as we look at this passage here, I know people today like to what I call piecemeal scriptures. Okay, so the passage says here, as we look at this one, and all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. We can't ignore other biblical principles and only accept the ones that we want to accept. So when you look at this passage and you see it says, In all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. So if I pray believing something's going to happen, I'm going to get it, right? That's not what the passage is saying. You still have to apply other biblical principles. The Bible talking about the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. God's not going to bless you with blessings if the reason you're asking for them is to consume it upon your lust. He's not going to do that. So, for example, when I remember vividly graduating from college and being in need of a vehicle, I got my license just before I graduated high school. It was literally March of my senior year, and I got my license, and so I didn't have a need for a vehicle because I was going away to college and wasn't uh, wasn't working enough to be able to try to save money for college and pay for a car and pay for insurance and all that other stuff. So I said I'll just have the license for identification purposes, um, and we can work from there. So after I graduated, I needed a vehicle, and I remember one of the families in our church let me use a car they had, and it was a small little car, um, probably about the size of a Ford. Is it a Ford Festiva? I think it used to be called, or Fiesta. I can't remember the kind of car it was, but it was a small little thing. But it worked. It got me from here to there. Was able to get insurance relatively cheap. It all worked out perfectly fine. Then the first vehicle I bought was a small four-door hatchback that was about 7 years old and had a little over 100,000 miles on it already. But it's what worked. And you know what? I had been praying that God would provide something for me, and He did. Now, would I have preferred a newer car if it was cost effective? Yeah. Would I have preferred a truck if cost had provided? Then yeah. See, the thing was, I prayed that the Lord would provide a vehicle that would get me from home to work and home to church and any other activity I was doing. So I shouldn't have expected, and I didn't, but I shouldn't have expected a sports car, or I shouldn't have expected, a brand new vehicle. That was silly because that's not what I needed. But the Bible here says, in all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. But we're forgetting the principle of contentment, being content with what you have, and God supplying our needs, not necessarily our wants. And you look at this passage, what was it? Jesus went to a fig tree and couldn't find figs. He went to something that had a design, had a purpose, and it wasn't living up to it. So it withered away. What did Jesus say when he mentioned that? If you have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. See, I do believe there are Christians who pray, and they pray fervently for things to occur, but they don't pray according to God's will. They don't pray for things that, forgive the way I say this, that would make sense. That would be like, hey, this is actually something I need. They don't pray for a way to pay their bill. They pray for their bill to be paid. The way it used to be said to me was, when I was, again, a college student, praying for, Lord, help provide money, provide funds. What would we do? We'd pray that God would provide money into like somebody would send me a check or someone would give me cash so I could pay my bill. But what if what he did was gave me an opportunity to work more hours? What if he gave me an opportunity to cut back on the bill because um, I was able to work it out and be able to take care of a bill? That's the Lord providing finances towards my bill, but I don't look at it that way, and it's not typically treated that way. See, we don't have faith that God will take care of us, and we don't pray that way. We don't pray according to his will. We still pray the way we want to pray, and then we claim that he didn't answer it because he didn't do it the way we wanted him to do it. And that's not how it goes. See, when we look at this passage here, it says, you have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which was done to the fig tree, but if ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. See, my encouragement to you is, we have the Almighty Creator wanting to give us, I don't want to say give us things, but supply our needs. And the problem we have is our philosophy is skewed. Our philosophy is messed up. I was talking to someone today, and one of the things I said was, they were passing a conversation they had had, and in their conversation, a, a complaint was made about um, uh, opportunity that they had uh, during a certain part of their day to relax and to take steps towards leisure. But the problem was, their part of the day that they would do that, there were a lot of others doing the same thing. So what it did is it limited their opportunity to take a certain at the workplace there they have break rooms, and in those break rooms, some of the nicer, whether there's a relaxing chair, a nice comfortable chair in this one particular break room. They didn't call it a break room, but whatever it was, there was an opportunity to sit in, I think it was a massage chair. Well, if you have a lot of people taking their breaks at that same time, guess what? It can be rough for you. So you can't do your lunch period there. But can you find another part of the day, or can you talk and, take a few moments? Maybe you can do it after your workday is done. Maybe you can do it before your workday starts. You can find an alternative, and it doesn't have to be all about you and the pain and the punishment that you're going through, but it could be something else. Your perspective is skewed. And instead of saying, Lord, you put me in this spot here, I'm going to trust it. You know that I would love to be able to relax more, or you know I would love to be able to help my sore muscles or my sore back and be able to feel better so that I can work better, so I can represent your name better. And another opportunity would come open for you. That would be your mountain being removed if we would only pray, believing, pray without doubt. And that's something you have the power to do today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on our journey, our daily encouragement. I continue to ask that if you are finding enjoyment in this, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. All it will do was help me to understand it's working, it's progressing forward. Feel free to make a comment if there's something you would love to go through or something you think I could do better. I definitely appreciate the feedback. Thanks so much for taking the time again to join us, and I hope that you can be encouraged today.